I was just making dinner, minding my own business when my phone buzzed. I wiped my hands, picked it up, and saw a message from my aunt. Weird. She never texts me first. My first thought? Maybe she found some old family video or a random meme she thought was funny. I tapped the message without thinking. Big mistake. The second the video started playing, my heart stopped. The footage was shaky, like someone had set their phone down without realizing it was recording. But the voices? Crystal. Freaking. Clear. And the first one I heard was my mom's. Emma should be grateful. She'd be nothing without us. I froze. My stomach dropped so fast it felt like I was in free fall. Before I could even process that, my dad's voice cut in. A pathetic failure, that's what Emma is, he chuckled. At least she's good for something, paying our bills. Laughter. Loud. Carefree. Like it was the funniest thing in the world. My grip tightened around my phone, my breathing suddenly uneven. Then my aunt, yes, the same aunt who sent me this video, chimed in. If Emma ever stops sending money, we just guilt her into it. She's too soft to say no. And that was it. That was the moment everything I thought I knew about my family shattered. They weren't talking about a random person. They weren't joking. They weren't venting after a stressful day. No, they were talking about me. And they meant every single word. I had spent years breaking my back for them. Covering their rent, bailing them out of debt, throwing away my own savings just to make sure they never struggled like I did. And in return? The video disappeared. This message has been unsent. So now she realizes she screwed up. Now she panics. Yeah, no. Too late for that. I stared at my screen, my pulse pounding in my ears. I should have called her. Should have confronted them. Should have let them know I saw everything. But I didn't. I put my phone down, heart racing, hands trembling. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't going to react. Not yet. I had the upper hand now. They thought I was still in the dark, still playing my role as the obedient little bank account. Let them think that. Let them get comfortable. Because in just a few days, the next payment was due. And this time, things were going to be very different. The next morning, everything feels different. The sun still filters through my curtains, my coffee still brews the same way, but there's a weight in the air, like the moment before a storm. My phone buzzes, snapping me out of my thoughts. I already know who it is before I even look. Mom. Morning, sweetie. Just checking in. Hope you're doing well. I almost laugh. She never texts just to check in. There's always something else. Some request. Some favor disguised as concern. And sure enough, buzz. Another message. Oh, by the way, rent is due soon. Can you send it by Friday? There it is. The same script, the same routine. It's always the same. Normally I'd reply right away. Of course. Or no problem. Maybe I'd even apologize for not sending it sooner, just to make sure they never felt inconvenienced. Not this time. I stare at the message, fingers hovering over the keyboard. I start typing, then delete it. I type again, delete it again. Every fiber of my being is telling me to keep the peace, to just send the money and move on. But I can't. Not after what I saw. I take a deep breath. Force my hands to be steady and type. I can't this month. I hit send before I can talk myself out of it. I set my phone down. Wait. 1 minute. 2. Bus. What do you mean you can't? I can feel the frustration through the screen. I sip my coffee slowly, letting her sit with that question. Another message. Emma, this is serious. We're counting on you. You know we don't have another option right now. Bus. Now it's my aunt. Hey sweetie, your mom is freaking out. Is everything okay? I nearly choke on my coffee. Is everything okay? Sure, everything's great. I've been their personal ATM for years, and the one time I even hint at stopping, they panic. Not once did they ask if I was okay. Not once did they ask if I needed help. Because it was never about me. It never had been. I take a deep breath, forcing the anger down, and reply, I have some unexpected expenses this month. I can't send anything. Sorry. That's it. No explanation. No apology. And then I wait. Because what happens next? That's the part that tells me everything I need to know. The silence is suffocating. For the first time in years, I've said no, and they don't know how to handle it. My phone sits face up on the table, screen glowing, the three little dots appearing and disappearing. Mom is typing. Stopping. Typing again. I can almost hear her pacing the kitchen, fuming, trying to figure out the perfect way to guilt trip me into changing my mind. Then her next message comes through. What do you mean, unexpected expenses? What could possibly be more important than your family? There it is. The guilt trip. The carefully placed words meant to make me feel like I'm the bad guy. I don't respond. I just let the message sit there. A minute passes, then another message. You know your brother has no way to cover rent. If he gets kicked out, that's on you. The brother card. Classic. Another message. We raised you, Emma. We took care of you when you had nothing. Is this how you repay us? My grip tightens on my phone. When I had nothing, they didn't take care of me. I put myself through school. I worked 3 jobs to escape that house. And the moment I had money, they latched onto me like leeches, draining me dry. Plus, another message. This time from my aunt. Emma, sweetheart, don't do this. We're family. Your mom is just upset. You know how she gets. Just send the rent and everything will be fine. Fine for who? Them? I put my phone down, my heart racing. I need a second to breathe, to think. I walk into the kitchen, pour myself a glass of water, and stare at the clock on the wall. I can feel something shifting inside me. For years, I've been terrified of this moment. Scared that if I ever stopped paying, they'd hate me, they'd cut me off, that I'd have no one. But now I know the truth. They never loved me. They loved what I could give them. And the moment that stops, they'll show me exactly who they are. I walk back to my phone and pick it up with steady hands. This time the message is from my dad. I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is unacceptable. You're being selfish. This family needs you and you're acting like some entitled brat. Grow up and do the right thing. And there it is. No more fake sweetness. No more pretending to care. Just demands. Plus, a voice message. From my aunt. My hands tremble as I hesitate. My thumb hovers over the play button. Something tells me, this is going to change everything. My thumb hovers over the play button. Something in my gut tells me this isn't going to be good. I take a deep breath and press play. My aunt's voice comes through, sharp, clipped, impatient. Emma, listen. I don't know what kind of game you think you're playing, but this isn't funny. Your mother is losing her mind. Your dad is furious. And honestly, I don't blame them. My stomach twists, but I keep listening. You've always been, well, a little ungrateful. But this is beyond selfish. So now I'm selfish? You have a good job, don't you? You make more than any of us. You don't even need that money. Meanwhile, your family is struggling, and what? You just wake up one day and decide you don't care anymore. A bitter laugh bubbles up in my throat. I don't care anymore? I've spent years carrying all of them. Paying their rent. Covering their debts. Sacrificing my savings while they wasted theirs. And now that I've finally said no, I'm the bad guy? She keeps going. You owe them, Emma. After everything they've done for you. After all the sacrifices they made. They gave you life and now you're just going to walk away? Pretend they don't exist? What kind of daughter does that? I feel something inside me snap. They gave me life? Sure. But that's where their effort ended. I was the one who kept myself afloat. I was the one who worked 3 jobs. I was the one who climbed out of the hole they dug for me. And now they think I owe them for simply existing? My aunt exhales sharply. For a second I think she's done. But then her tone shifts. It's colder now. If you really want to be that kind of person, fine. But don't expect them to forgive you. Don't expect to come crawling back when you realize how much you need them. Because once you cross this line, Emma, there's no coming back. The message ends. Silence. I let the words settle. My thumb hovers over the replay button. My ears are ringing. My hands feel numb. I should feel scared. Panicked. I should be scrambling to make things right. To fix this. To apologize. But instead, I feel calm. No, more than that. I feel free. Because she just confirmed everything. They don't love me. They don't respect me. They don't even see me as a person. I was just a walking ATM. a financial lifeline, a tool. And now that I've stopped handing out money, I'm nothing to them. And if that's the case, then maybe it's time to be nothing to them. I take a deep breath, pick up my phone. One last message from my mother pops up. Last chance, Emma. Send the rent. I stare at the words for a long time. Then, without hesitation, I block her. Then my dad. Then my aunt. And just like that, for the first time in years, I am free. The next day, I wake up feeling lighter than I have in years. No messages. No missed calls. Just silence. For the first time, my life isn't being dictated by their needs. But that silence doesn't last long. The knock at my door is sharp, insistent. Too early for a delivery. Too early for anyone normal to be here. A chill runs down my spine. I already know who it is before I even look through the peephole. My brother, Jason. His face is twisted between anger and desperation. His clothes are wrinkled, his eyes bloodshot like he hasn't slept. He looks wrecked. Are you serious, Emma? His voice is sharp like a blade pressed against my skin. What the hell is wrong with you? I blink, keeping my expression neutral. Good morning to you too. He scoffs, running a hand through his already messy hair. Don't do that. Don't act like this isn't a big deal. You blocked everyone. Mom is freaking out. Dad's losing his mind. You're just, what? Cutting us off? Pretending we don't exist. I cross my arms, leaning against the doorframe. I don't know, Jason. Maybe I just got tired of being treated like a piggy bank. His jaw clenches. Oh my God. Not this again. I let out a bitter laugh. Not this again? Jason, I've been paying your rent for years. I've covered your bills, your food, even your stupid gym membership. And the one time I say no, the one time I set a boundary, Mom calls me selfish, Dad says I'm unacceptable, and you show up at my door like I committed a crime. His lips part like he's about to argue, but no words come out. So I keep going. And don't even try to pretend you care about me. I saw the video. His face drains of color. Fear flashes in his eyes for the first time. What video? I smile, but it's not kind. You know exactly what video. Jason shifts on his feet, looking away, his hands balling into fists. Look, it wasn't serious, okay? We were just joking. You're being dramatic. Joking. My voice is quiet now but sharp as glass. You all sat around laughing, calling me a pathetic failure, saying I should be grateful for the chance to pay your bills. Do you know what that feels like, Jason? To hear your own family talk about you like that? He exhales harshly, rubbing his face. Emma, come on. No, I cut him off. You come on. You want money? Get a job. You want someone to take care of you? Find someone else. Because I'm done. Silence. He just stands there, staring at me. For a second, I see something flicker across his face, something raw. But it's gone just as quickly. You don't mean that, he mutters. I hold his gaze. Yes, I do. Another silence. Then his expression hardens. His mouth twists into something ugly. Fine, he spits. You want to be a selfish bitch? Go ahead. But don't come crawling back when you realize you have no one left. And with that, he turns and walks away. I stand there watching him go, my chest tight but my spine straight. Because he's wrong. I do have someone left. I have myself. Just as I close the door, letting out a shaky breath, my phone buzzes again. The familiar name flashes on the screen. My mother. But I'm not going to pick up. Not this time. I've been at her mercy for so long. Her demands, her guilt trips, the way she's used my own sense of responsibility against me, manipulating me into giving up everything I had just to keep her from falling apart. Not anymore. I turn the phone over, face down, and walk away. The truth is, I'm done. Done with being the constant source of money. The safety net that kept my family afloat when they couldn't be bothered to make their own way in the world. Done with the lies and the manipulation. They never once asked how I was doing. Never once thought about the toll it took on me to be the one always picking up the slack. I carried their weight for years. My mother's, my father's, my brother's, all of them acting like I owed them something, like my life was just one long, endless repayment for everything they had sacrificed for me. But no one had ever asked what I needed. No one had ever cared about me. And now I'm taking control. But my decision doesn't go unnoticed. The next morning, as I sit in my living room, the silence feels suffocating. The weight of my choice is starting to settle in. But there is no regret, no second guessing. I made the right decision. Then my doorbell rings. I'm not surprised. It's Jason. Again. I can tell by the way he knocks, demanding, impatient. The last person I expected to show up, but somehow not surprising. I open the door slowly, keeping my face neutral. Emma, he starts, the usual arrogance gone, replaced by something almost pleading. You need to listen to me. I don't invite him in. I stand in the doorway, arms crossed. I don't need to listen to anything you have to say. Jason. He blinks, taken aback. No, you don't understand. His voice softens, almost desperate. Mom's freaking out. Dad's calling me, asking what's going on. They don't know how to fix this. You've cut us all off. You can't just leave us hanging like this. I scoff, leaning against the doorframe. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I was just going to keep enabling you? Keep paying your rent, your bills, pretending everything was fine? No, Jason. I'm done. I don't care how much you or mom or dad beg. I'm done playing the role of the family ATM. His eyes flicker with anger. You're acting like we've never done anything for you. Like we're all just users, right? I don't flinch. Oh, believe me. I know exactly what I've been to you all. I've been a cash machine. A free ride. And I'm tired of it. Jason's face twists. You can't just leave us hanging like this. You owe us, Emma. The words sting, but they don't break me. They only make me more resolute. I owe you? I've given you everything. I paid for your rent, your groceries, your bills while you just sat there and watched me do it. And you want to talk about owing? His fists clench at his sides. You'll regret this. You'll regret cutting us off. I can't help but laugh. No, Jason. You'll regret it. Because I'm not the one who needs you anymore. Without waiting for a response, I slam the door in his face. Feels good, but I know the drama is far from over. Later that night, my phone buzzes again. I almost don't want to check it, but the curiosity gnaws at me. It's from my dad. We raised you, Emma. Don't think you can just walk away from everything we've done for you. You're making a huge mistake. Come back. We'll talk about it. We'll fix this. I can almost hear the desperation in his words. I sit there for a moment, the phone still in my hand. I could ignore it. I could block him too. But instead, I have a better idea. I'm not just going to block them. I'm going to make them pay for every single lie, every single moment they took me for granted. And it's going to start now. I stand up, walk to my desk, and open my laptop. It's time to send them a message they'll never forget. I sit at my desk, staring at my laptop screen, fingers hovering over the keyboard. My father's last message still lingers in my mind. Come back. We'll talk about it. We'll fix this. Fix what? The fact that they got caught? The fact that I finally saw them for who they really were? There was nothing to fix. They weren't sorry for what they did. They were sorry they lost control over me. For years I had been their safety net, their free ride. And the moment I chose myself, the moment I decided to stop sacrificing my life for them, they turned on me. The fake sweetness evaporated. The guilt-tripping turned into outright anger. And now they were scrambling, desperate to regain control. But it was too late. I take a deep breath and open my email. I start typing. Not an apology. Not an explanation. No, this was something else. I gather every financial record, every bank transfer, every bill I had ever covered for them. Rent payments, tuition, credit card debts, emergency loans that were never paid back. A decade's worth of proof that I wasn't the selfish, ungrateful daughter they were making me out to be. At the top of the email, I type, here's a breakdown of everything I've done for you. Every dollar I've spent, every time I put your needs before my own. I don't owe you anything anymore. And I will never let you make me feel guilty for choosing myself again. Consider this my final invoice. I attach the receipts, the bank statements, the proof, and then I hit send. And just like that, it's done. I log into our family group chat, where for years I had been bombarded with messages about rent, groceries, bills. I scroll through the text, seeing the patterns, the manipulation, the guilt trips disguised as love. Then I type one final message. You talk a lot about what you've done for me, but you've forgotten how much I've given up for you. The reality is you never needed me, you just used me. I'm done. This is my last message. Don't ever contact me again. I hit send. Then, without hesitation, I leave the group. The silence that follows is deafening. For the first time in years, there are no messages, no missed calls, no guilt-tripping texts demanding money. Just peace. I lean back in my chair, exhaling slowly. I had expected to feel regret, maybe even sadness. But instead, there's a quiet kind of satisfaction. Not the dramatic blow-up I had imagined. Not some grand confrontation. Just me quietly walking away, taking back control. Then, buzz. A single message. It's from Jason. You're making a mistake, Emma. You'll regret this. Family sticks together. I stare at the message for a long moment before shaking my head. He still doesn't get it. None of them do. And maybe they never will. I turn my phone over, screen facing down. For the first time in my life, I'm not waiting for their approval. I'm not carrying the weight of their expectations. I'm free. And that's the best revenge I could ever ask for.